It's May 23rd, just after 11 o'clock. I went to the toy rally downtown at the Pinnacle Hotel. Good to see Polyev. The place was completely full. Unlike the last rally I saw there was only one person with a MAGA hat. The last one had like 8 or 9. The one person, the guy was doing air gun bullets at him, so I just said no to 51st State. But as good as it was sold out, I was surprised. There was some guy called Bill Willikers or something. He's the guy with the white suit. You sometimes see him downtown with a sign. I've never seen him. I've just seen his videos the last week on YouTube. And he was sitting the row ahead of me, just slight to my right. But I don't know what his story is exactly. But there were 3 men sitting with him, one of them openly gay, and just to make sure you got it, he kept making limp-wristed right hand signals and saying he was gay like 3 different times. There was some fat guy there with glasses saying all sorts of lies about me and trying to get my attention by running towards me, then backing off, and yada, yada, yada. All up the staircase, he's the loudest guy there. He had a big bag of photo equipment. And afterwards, he comes down the aisle, and Bill's sitting at the end of the row of seats, and he's going, "Greg, I'm not going to rest until you can't afford underpants." Well, whatever, you flaming faggot. He had a rainbow thing around his neck, so I assume he was gay, but I don't know what the guy's problem was. And Bill is saying stuff like I made a clear death threat to one of my uncles. That's utter rubbish, you moron. You've never talked to any of my family. And if you had, well, bollocks to them. He was making pro-HA comments during the meeting along with other people, so that twice people around us were saying, like, be quiet, be quiet. And some guy walked right out of the event with a beard pointing that he was leaving, saying, there's way too many very pro-HA comments here, and he walked out. And there's Mr. Polyev doing his routine speech about crime, and he's going to crack down on drugs. He's going to ban the fent and ban the crack, which is already illegal, but that's not the point. And, Mrs. Finley, who's been very strong for the BC Conservatives, I hope she wins the BC Conservative leadership. One of her top things was, of her 5 things, was ban Soji 123, which supposedly this guy Bill cares about, but she took no notice of him at all. Nice that she waved at me, but I've donated money to her and we've run into each other a few times. We're not buddies or anything, of course. Oh yeah, Fatso with his little rainbow necklace made a point to say, Greg doesn't know Chuck Straw. Greg doesn't know Chuck Straw. That's right, I don't. I don't know the MP. All I did was donate money to his campaign, and I met him twice in his office. And I mean, when I say meet, I walk in the door, he's there, 2 guys are already talking to him, his assistant comes out and talks to me, that kind of thing. I've never claimed any in my thousands of media posts and videos that I know Chuck Straw. I put a sign on my vehicle, and I donated money, and I'm glad he won. I've communicated with him by email and LinkedIn to Mr. Straw. He never answered any of my LinkedIn messages, and that's how it goes. Yeah, I wonder how this Bill guy supports himself. I honestly don't know. I've seen on his videos people ask, how do you support yourself? But no one says. So there's all sorts of ways people can have money, inheritances, business dealings, a job. Yeah, the guy seemed like a weirdo whacknut to me. He reminded me of that Dennis Watson guy that he used to be in the news for his guardian angels. And the guardian angels said, no, you're not a guardian angel, man. You just went and made that up.
Everyone's had the flavor that Canada loves. Infused iced tea. It's the flavor.
Oh, also the gay guy. No, not the gay guy. The guy in front of the gay guy. White woman, old blondish hair, large ring on her right hand. She was talking about Leaf and Tam, a girl I used to go to high school with. I haven't talked to her since grade 9. And so did the chick next to me. She's talking about Leaf and Tam. Like, maybe you girls know her, maybe you don't. I don't really care. But, like, the way I hear it, Leaf and Tab's got a bunch of scared munchkins hanging around with her. 8 times since high school, I've run into people who know Leaf and Tab. Only one guy ever mentioned her, and it was simply, oh, Leaf in. She used to go to Garden City's, that school at Garden City, St. Albans with me, and that's the extent of it is. So I don't know what's going on with these weirdos. Yeah, like I said, twice where people were telling them to shush down because, like, people were commenting. What's with all these Hells Angels comments? Strange people. And Bill W., he was wearing his usual white suit that you see in the videos. He was saying he was going drinking with a guy. I'm under a court order. I can't mention the guy's name. But court records fired by the guy's own lawyers said that the guy has depression and anxiety, and that he got deported from the United States. And a realtor that he sold his home on Rough Road to in Delta, the guy said there was a lot of damage to the inside of the house, and you didn't tell us about it. Now, why you bought a house without looking at it inside first, I don't know. But that was in the court records, and those court records can be found in the Van Dot General group of Google Groups. Yeah, so, it was nice to be downtown. Lots of great-looking women down there. Girl Gaggles white, all white, 10 of them. Girl Gaggles are black, 5, 6. And even when I got to Surrey Central, some black guys were driving down the street. The guy with a big cigar in his mouth and, like, a flat top, like something Sly Stone used to drive. So I thought that was cool. It looks like that K&G convenience store is closed down. They had a big drug bust there. It made the Surrey Now Leader front page. 80,000 in cash, guns, and of course drugs. The funny thing was, the bust happened the day after an Asian guy walked out of the place saying he was going to shoot me dead as I was walking in to buy a pepperoni stick and a bottle of water. I go inside the place, the woman goes, no, you're not going to get shot. That Asian guy, he's the one that's going to get shot. And then the police raided the place the next day. I thought it bizarre at the time that they had this big bust and the Surrey City Council didn't pull the guy's license fast. There were various newspaper stories about it. I guess maybe they finally did. Like, what kind of convenience store has 80 grand in cash and a whole bunch of drugs and guns? Yeah, you can look that up on the web. It's also on the Van Dot General news group of Google Groups. Look up K&G convenience store. There used to be people always hanging outside there, either on drugs or selling drugs. I remember Phil, the drug dealer, the HA guy. He used to hang out there. I saw him meeting up with his HA contact over there by City Hall. And the last time I saw him, he was in the downtown east side hanging out with, he at least had 2 other guys in his crew. And that's the first time I ever saw him with a crew, so I'll give him that. You can make up to $10,000 a day in the downtown east side, and you also get flatlined real quick, so I don't know what's happening with him. When I first met him, he wasn't into drugs at all, and he didn't even drink. He was just at the bar, like Kelly's Bar for karaoke, but then he started drinking. He likes to sing Sinatra at karaoke. I was at the government pot store there, then Bellwin and Delta. I get the CBD oil to help me sleep. I've never been there before, and the one guy there, a customer, says that Kelly's HA set, that ain't crap. It's nothing. Who knows what happened with that, but people come up to me on the street and talk to me about they pounded out one of them or they raped the other guys, so like, best avoid those guys if that's your way of crime. Within a year of them banning me from Kelly's Pub for a made-up reason, all those people were either fired or quit. So who knows what was happening there. Billy used to go on the buses yelling his HA crap and stuff. He works for Delta School Board when he's not falling drunk into the fireplace on his Jameson Irish whiskey and screwing around on his wife. Jason sells LSD and stolen property, drives a beat-up white truck. I've seen him at the Chilliwack Main Welfare Office a few times. And Jeremy Nathan Dyke, rat shit, boogie eater, snot nose. He used to deal coke out of Kelly's Pub and in the parking lots of Wally at midnight. I last saw him hanging out outside the main Chilliwack homeless shelter, along with Sarah, who used to be a waitress there at Kelly's Pub, who bawls her eyes out because like her life ain't going well. I guess we can just put it that way. Yeah. I used to drink at a lot of bars. I can't remember any bar that I ever saw stolen property the last 5 years of my drinking that had stolen property other than Kelly's Pub. In fact, I'll bluntly say it. Kelly's Pub was the only one with stolen property. Not every day, of course. It was also the only non-strip bar that I saw hookers in. And that's just the way it is. So have a good one, folks.